Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where we are gathered together once again in our ever expanding, elevated platform of living, which spans every time zone. Hello, Tej in Slovenia. Hello, Julia in Australia. I call out to everyone as family. By now, you must realize the importance of your presence as the charter members of this emerging industry of magic and miracles. And as charter members with firsthand information, we cannot help but be the bearer of good news and good times that are coming via Swisindo and much more. Here's a little reminder that you are going to be downloading your M1 voucher from Swisindo.news. And just as a quick reminder, if anyone is on the call that hasn't been before, this is going to entitle you to a $1,200 a month payment right into your account for the rest of your life. And for children up to the age of 17, $600 a month until they graduate into their $1,200. That's pretty good. It's amazing what's happening as a result. Our advanced intelligence is opening our vision. We have closed, here we go. Here's another photo I got ready. We have closed our personal reception center, remember, on Friday with great ceremony. And we have fired the closed-minded receptionist. You know what? This is not so easy to do when we can see that this room was initiated without ceremony when you allowed yourself to agree with something that you knew wasn't true, but you wanted to be nice. So, here we go. So I say to myself and to everyone, allow no substitutes for the truth. And we are exposed to that truth all the time. Now, it's interesting. It made me think of the optometrist. He has different lenses, and he can make your vision clear, or he can make your vision fuzzy. And there are a lot of people out there that really want to keep your vision fuzzy, like salespeople, corporations, politicians, all of those. And it's so interesting because when you say no, clear vision says their only comeback is, well, that's a conspiracy. But I've had that personal experience. I went to the dentist and I told the assistant about Swisindo, and she was so thrilled because she has mountainous debts with 2 hospital stays. 3 days later, I had a checkup at the dentist, saw the same assistant, and casually said, I asked her about Swisindo, and she said, oh, my husband said it's a scam. Oh, they're going to take all your money out of your bank account. And I thought, thank you, Robert, for alerting us all to the personal reception room and understood its all pervasiveness and wasn't affected. In the past, I think I would have been shocked. The other morning, I was sharing a very moving story that was posted on Facebook to Robert. And I couldn't complete the story. It was of this man, I don't know if he's a doctor, but his name is Jonathan Mooney. And he was addressing teachers and telling them about his miserable time growing up when he never received one word of encouragement, just that he was a loser, until he met one person who said, I believe in you. Let's show those bastards. And now here he is talking to the teachers. Well, I couldn't finish the story because I was so moved. And Robert said to me very quietly, he said, you opened the door to your own music. Wow. Just by that involuntary catch, I opened the door. And through that open door, I brought in a conversation I had with my uncle Herman, my mother's oldest brother, and an amazing composer and pianist. Some said, a little derogatorily, he's not really part of this world. That was derogatory then. Now I hear him as bearing interesting considerations. He said, composers answer each other musically. Perhaps we do that too. I hear your music, and if you hear my music, there's a mutual recognition and a friendship can be formed. But we have to be willing to hear another's music. A child takes gossip about a family member as truth, which colors the relationship. What is abnormal, according to whom? Who sets the norms? Uncontrollable emotional expression opens the door. And Genya certainly showed us that this week. No words, silence, and you hear the music. Watching and listening to Leonard Bernstein conduct and play Mozart and Beethoven concertos just now opened the door to the great hall where I stand in glory with all of you. What opens that door to the great hall for you? As a child, my fondest bedtime story I would tell myself is helping a lost little boy and taking good care of him. Every night, I found him crying on the curb in front of my house, and I rescued him. That continues and includes everyone, and Swisindo is my vehicle. Vetty Jones and I are in the Ministry of Health and Well-Being under the National and International Ministry of Humanities Assistance. And we have taken seriously making sure that homeless people receive vouchers somehow. Now, on Friday, David spoke of receiving signals in his update. I have learned to listen, and this is my most recent miracle. I can't wait to share it with you. There was a Facebook post of a man who gifts a haircut to homeless men. Wow, a picture taken for the voucher. I must find this Good Samaritan. So I posted it again and mentioned that I want to get in touch with him. Here comes the miracle. Yesterday, I was notified of a comment on my post from Julia. I met Julia at a workshop 10 years ago in Australia. She said that the wonderful man comes into her workplace quite often, and she will give him my email address. Miracle? I was thrilled. I invited Julia to tune in today. Now, whatever you transmit is somehow heard, and the universe answers. There is another post in Facebook called Santa Ana Faces. This amazing young artist paints marvelous, expansive paintings of homeless people. He sells the canvases for $2,500 and gives $1,500 to that person, and they become friends. And now I am looking for Brian Peterson. I'm putting that in the tape recorder in the sky. Let's show the people that we can see them. Every week, I see the importance of sending nourishing information. We can cause disclosure and perfection to be here. Homeless is an adjective that is physical. You just don't have a place to lay your head at night. But without knowing your origin is more subtle. This is a poem that I'd like to read to you right now. And it's called Your Song. You've carried this burden for far too long. Now is the time to sing your song. It doesn't all fall on you to make things right. You've taken on that responsibility at the expense of your light. It's been made to appear that it's all on you to be mother, wife, and bring the finance too. You took on that role because it seemed the only way. You had to be strong, your gentle essence delayed. You felt unseen, unheard, and unsafe. This is for men also. No one could see you as you suffered in this place. Your vulnerability was guarded. You lived in constant fear. When it's all up to you, you can't afford to know cheer. I've come to release you, to take the burden away. The weight is too heavy. You won't make it this way. Take my hand and feel loved. I've always been there for you. The burden you carry has never been true. Go back to the moment before you took this on, when you moved and danced in childlike form. You are a magnificent being. Do it all if you choose, but not from this burden. It's you we can't lose. You are all so beautiful, with so much to give, time to put yourself first. It's your turn to live. You've carried this burden for far too long. Now is the time to sing your song. Love, David. David's poetry captures it all. Watch for his book, soon to be published. He is a blessing to us all. It is so important to be informed and to project into the great recorder in the sky. You remember the story I told you of Robert's mother, who she followed what Robert said, and she was getting nowhere with the council, and she wanted more sidewalks, and she wanted to move the stop sign, and she wanted a whole lot of things. And within days, it was answered. That's wonderful. If each person, oh, I see. Tell us what you transmit and the miracle that flows. We would love to hear it. Now, if each person connected with one person without a home, physical or otherwise, how much could be accomplished? I'm still excited about finding the barber in Australia. His name is Nasir Sobhani. Everything is on track for the World Peace Treaty signing in October. That's very good news. But I just lost a piece of paper because I want to tell you about Brian. All right? He's in here somewhere, but that's okay. There's another post on Facebook. That seems to be my reference book these days. It's called Faces of Santa Ana. Did I say this already? Yes, I did. Okay, forget that. You're allowed. 5 years ago, this was written by a very, very dear friend and part of our first family. I found it and was so moved that I felt that I should share it with you today. She wrote, "What would you give for one moment of being truly seen? To feel and know that someone gets you in the deepest places of your heart and can see all the gifts you have brought to this world. That person is here. His name is Robert Young. Robert has a unique ability to access the most advanced technologies of the universe and bring them into a beautiful simplicity. His love and presence inspires each one of us to access the places within that we thought were lost to us. With the wonder of a child and the power of a divine being, Robert shows us how to live a life filled with clarity and adventure while being bathed in the most perfect love. Robert shows us the way home. He brings each one of us back to our deepest knowing and reminds us of our one true connection to Source. His magic cannot be described. It must be experienced. I count my life from before and after I met Robert, because that is when everything changed. Every joy I have now is because of his love and his commitment to this world, to me, and to you. Life works, and it is wonderful because Robert brings the blueprint of perfection that is our birthright. Heaven on earth is here for us all. So let's celebrate. Since that day, I said 5 years ago, Robert has broadcast over 353 times with his message of truth. And before that, 30 years of giving that message in Australia. Now, finally, he can see the fruits as the industry of magic and miracles is launched. It will grow as we remember and celebrate. The family of our origin is here now. Truly heaven on earth. We are blessed to have Robert, and we are blessed to have each other. We wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and an amazingly beautiful, magical future. Thank you so much.